What is up, guys? Welcome back to Thought Cluster. It's your boy Grif and sadly Luke.
I'm having a mental breakdown.
Try to start this for the past 6 minutes. I don't know.
Welcome out of back. All that was our intro.
Welcome back from the hell depths beneath.
Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. We just got back. We're in our hotel room because, as you guys know, we just went on tour. We've been on tour for the past 6 months.
Making like $7,000
a day
per minute.
Every second.
Every second.
We just made like 21,000 right now.
Holy crap!
Easy. There's another 21. Wow. And I don't know the multiples past 21 of 7. So we're just going. Anyway,
I think we just got 49's in there somewhere.
Eventually. But yeah, we just got back from tour with Imagine Dragons, Post Malone, and your mom's ass. I don't know. Welcome back to Thought Cluster. This is episode 11. We're actually not in an apartment. We're in literally the house next to mine because I'm dog sitting and he just tagged along. And we're like, why not film here? Because it's a quiet environment where we can just vibe out.
Honestly.
So if this one's a little janky, which it definitely is, I apologize. Whatever.
It's just something different. Keep the viewers interested.
Enjoy my coffee's too hot to drink. And by the way,
I poured that like an hour ago.
It's still hot. I'm David this episode, so just keep that in mind. If you address me as Griffin, I will cry. Thank you.
Put the coffee down. Coffee's for closers.
Okay. So now that you're brought up to speed, do you want to start us off? Or should I?
Yeah.
Well, Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I want to dedicate this up because I'm going to say some more about him a little bit later, but I want to dedicate this episode to Andrew Lincoln, otherwise known as Andrew Clutterbuck, because that's actually his actual last name. I'm pretty sure it's like Clutterbuck, something like that. But I want to dedicate this episode.
What a man! I
want to dedicate this episode to him because he recently left The Walking Dead, and I'll kind of get into more of like why he left The Walking Dead, because most people don't know.
And that's like what
I don't even know if you
talk about. Yeah, I probably don't know.
Actually. Yeah, you don't know the real reason because we just know what we thought, but actually there's a new.
Today we're going to be talking a lot about The Walking Dead, season 9, season
spoilers,
finale. Yeah, so there's definitely going to be some spoilers here.
If you're not caught up.
Get caught up. Pause the video, get caught up, come back and join us for this conversation.
We won't talk about it for the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely not the whole thing, but it's going to be a large majority because there's a lot to talk about. Yeah. And me, not to brag or anything, but I read the comics, so I'll.
Fuck the comics, dude. We're just talking about the show.
The comics have like a lot to do with the show, like especially this season, like a lot for this season. So you'll get my point of view on that, especially from the comics, and then how I feel about the TV show. Obviously, how Griffin feels about the TV show. We'll just
it's kind of like where we're at, like what we're feeling,
how we're going on it. So start us off with what happened to Andrew.
Okay.
What happened to the legendary Rick Grimes?
So Rick Grimes, Andrew Garfield. And his name was actually Andrew Clutterbuck, which I didn't actually know. It's like Clutterbuck, something like that. And it means, the definition of Clutterbuck means shit shoveler. Really? Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
That was his dead-ass last name.
That still is his dead-ass last name. But they changed it because of the whole Hollywood thing. Because he's like, you sound like a fucking, like, Oompa Loompa. I forget what he said, but like the director's like, you need to change that. He's like, because that's not going up on the screen. Could you imagine?
Yeah, Clutterbuck.
So they gave him the name Andrew Lincoln, and that's kind of what that's been his, like, I don't know, what do you call that, show name?
Right.
Your stage name? Like a stripper? Name. But he actually left, which we originally thought that he left because
his contract was up.
Yeah, we thought that, and we just thought that that's where the show was taking it. Like, that was just their approach. That's at least what I thought. And I also thought that they were going to give him a trilogy. Like, Rick Grimes
everybody thought that, there's going to be like a movie or something like that.
Running through my head, I'm like, how the fuck does that make, where are they going to go with that?
It really didn't make sense.
Are they going to continue Rick's story? I'm like, why would you have to jump from the TV show to the movies and then back to the TV show?
Put all the time and resources into a movie. Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. And then I'm like, well, what if they did it before? And I'm like, well, then it's just like a cop show. Right? It's just like a life, which is cool, right? But like, it's not, you don't need a fucking trilogy for that. You could do that in an episode.
It would be pretty cool to see Shane and Rick.
It would, but I don't know.
It doesn't work out. Weird. In the end of it, it doesn't make sense.
So I did a little bit of research. Not really. I just typed in, what happened to Rick? No, I just looked it up on YouTube, and I saw like a bunch of different interviews with Negan, I don't know the character name, and Lauren.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, that's it. I follow him on Twitter. I should probably know his name.
He's a really
he follows
good guy,
me.
Actually. He follows you?
No, not at all.
Oh, I was about to be like, holy shit.
He actually DM'd me one time, though. Not at all. That was a total lie.
He sent you a picture of his...
PP.
Oh, okay. Cut it here, dude. I gotta say that. Here.
Check that fucker out. No. But the reason that he left is because, well, obviously he's British. the actual, fucking guy is
My
British.
name's Andrew Lincoln.
Drew. My name's
Drew.
Drew.
Andrew Lincoln.
Everyone-
You take a cup of tea.
Anyway.
Sorry. No offense.
Little.
Yeah, a little bit of offense, actually. Fuck you.
But he left because of family.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he left to go back because obviously he's got I don't know where he lives, but obviously he lives somewhere in England, as he stated, and he went back because they've been filming for like 10 years. Like it's been at 10 years, and just imagine how many hours they put on set and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you can
shit.
tell that there's a lot of time putting on set because like the way that the actual actors are such close friends, like there's so much time they spend together. But so he's like, can't do this anymore. He's like, I gotta look out for my family and stuff. So he went back, and like that's where he's gonna be. He's gonna start playing in roles there, which I think was really fucking dope. Like that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it's like to give up 10 years of work.
But that's the cool thing, because I was wondering, I'm like, in the back of my head, I was like, what if the other characters are like, or the other actors and stuff are like, wow, you fucking asshole, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously there's some fans that were pissed off, right?
Right.
I can understand that. You can't bag on a man for going to spend time with his family. You
like,
can't do that.
Especially after 10 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and of course they've probably come to like America to see him, but I mean,
the fan side of me is like, man, fuck. But at the same time, I can totally see that because like that's his family, that's his kids, stuff like that, his wife. They need him. But it's cool because I was listening to the other like actors and actresses that play in The Walking Dead, and they were talking about it because they were interviewed separately, talking about
who all talked about it?
Lincoln's, just like Negan, Michonne was in there, Lauren Cohan, what's her name on the show, Maggie, and I think
Carol.
Yeah, Carol talked about it too, and yeah, so they all were like talking about it, more the like main characters, and obviously this was a little bit ago. But they were talking about it, and all of them, and even Daryl was there, because apparently Daryl and him are like best buds. Like the actual
name?
Norman Reedus. Yeah. I'm saying Daryl though, because it like just makes more sense, because not everybody knows the names. Anyway, but apparently they've been best buds, and he was like, Daryl's like, I was really upset like when he told me. He's like, he spent time with his family. Like you can't say shit about that.
Right,
like,
you gotta
which I
understand
totally
that.
agree.
Especially to respect it.
But what's cool to me is that Rick Grimes, who obviously is the character that he plays, is like the leader. He's the badass leader. He keeps them together. He's like their fucking glue, right? And apparently Andrew Lincoln is that in real life. Because the way that everybody was talking was like, he's the first guy to show up and the last guy to leave. He's like, he works his fucking ass off. Like, he's the one who's like, all right, everybody, let's go. Like, he's the one who hypes everybody up. And I'm like, that's fucking dope.
Andrew,
you know what I'm saying?
Andrew is just like altogether like a fucking badass.
Yeah,
dude.
like he's such a guy. Like, I fucking love him.
He's such a cool guy.
I was looking for him because I've been looking for him for this entire time, and I found out that on Twitter, which is like, I don't know, that's where I follow like all the Walking Dead people. I don't know why. I just don't really follow them on Instagram besides like Maggie because she's a beautiful human being. But I follow like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like Norman Reedus and Chandler Riggs and all of them on Twitter and stuff like that. And I follow Andrew Lincoln or Andrew Clutterbuck, whatever you want to call him. And I realized, I'm like, why does he only have like 45,000 followers when Norman Reedus has 3 million, Chandler Riggs has 1 million?
He lost a bunch, didn't he?
No, here's why. I've been following a fan page the entire time, and I didn't know it. I totally slipped my mind.
Was it verified?
No, it wasn't verified, and I don't know why.
You always got to check for verified.
I know, but I followed it like a long-ass time ago, like when I first got Twitter, because obviously that's when the show was popping up, and that's when I got into it, and I just never knew.
Well, so a bunch of other people fell for the same thing that you did.
Yeah. Or they just, because it was a fan page. And I never noticed because it said Andrew Lincoln, and then it had his profile picture and like Walking Dead stats and like an update. So I was like, oh, okay. But the tag was Andrew Lincoln, but at the very end it said FP. And I'm like, fuck. I didn't know that for fan page.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, so fuck. Where is he? Where can I follow this guy? And I checked everywhere, and I'm like, where the fuck is he? And then I like did more research and stuff like that. Yes, I did research to try and follow someone. And that's when I found out.
Andrew Lincoln's kind of worth doing that too.
Yeah, but that's where I found out that his name was actually Andrew Clutterbuck. It's like something like that. I don't know if I'm saying that 100% right, but I'm going to keep saying it that way because I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, oh, it's Andrew Clutterbuck. Now I can search him up and I can follow him. And I still couldn't find him. I'm like, where the fuck is he? I'm like, he's like the star of the show. How does he not have like millions of followers?
Right.
Like you think, I mean, that's not what it's all about, but it makes sense. But I realized that I watched a ton of like interviews and like, those like compilations that people do of like funny moments on set. And apparently Andrew Lincoln is, and this is the greatest thing ever, he's totally disconnected. He's even talked about it. He's like, I'm an old man. He's like, I have a flip phone.
That's
like,
actually really cool.
Yeah, like he doesn't connect. He doesn't fuck with any of that. And I think that's so dope. But like he's not all like, yeah, I don't even fuck with like the internet and shit like that. It's just like, yeah, I have no fucking clue what that means. Like he's just totally oblivious, and I love it. I think that's the dopest thing.
Can you imagine that he's probably like one of the most famous people on AMC, like that?
Yeah,
that
easy.
TV show line, and he doesn't even like know about that kind of stuff. You know, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that is pretty insane. I didn't know that was a real reason why he left. Wow. But major
awesome,
respect for the dude. Honestly, can't go wrong with, you know, and as much as everybody wanted to see him.
But here's the thing. They didn't kill him in the show.
Right.
Keep in mind, spoilers, so if you're surprised by that, I don't know what to tell you.
But he did go out in a pretty fucking badass way.
Yeah, but they didn't kill him. So I'm thinking, because maybe he's not fully disconnected. He didn't quit necessarily. He's just going back to spend time. So maybe in a couple seasons, they bring him back on. Now, I know, like, that's a stretch.
That'd be so cool.
That's a hella stretch, but they didn't kill him. So they're leaving that door open for sure.
Right.
Or they just did that not to disappoint fans.
You know how they left the door open with Heath and...
Yeah, well, that was kind of a blip, though. I don't know if that really counts, but yeah, so maybe they'll bring him back. I don't know. I wouldn't count on it, though, 100%.
Yeah, 100%, probably not. But anyways, Andrew Lincoln, major respect for the guy.
Yeah, this episode goes out to him, man.
But
100%.
holy crap.
What a guy.
The rest of the season definitely went on without him.
Yeah. What'd you think of the season finale?
A lot of stuff that I noticed that a lot of people didn't, because I read the comics. And it's not that kind of stuff that's like, oh, well, you read the comics, you fucking asshole. Like, now you know what's going to happen.
Can I say, like, a penny on it?
Yeah,
just like a little penny, a little spread of salt.
Food for
all I want to say on the last one is I was skeptical. I'm like, okay, I bet in this last one before I sat down and watched it, because I watched it here alone with the dog.
Yeah, I watched it at Mindy's, by the way. I wanted to invite you, but...
I was watching a puppy, so that's fine. But I was going into this one because the episode before the season finale, you know, where they killed, like, Tara and Enid, like, the main characters and shit like that. I was like, I bet they did that so that it's like an insurance on this next season finale that, like, no one's going to die. And I'm like, okay, I bet I'm going to run with that. I'm like, that's going to be like my prediction.
Fucking right.
And I was right. And it was such an anticlimactic episode. It really was. Not a lot happened, but can I just say,
100%.
I think it made up for it because they were in the snow. 100%. Mm-hmm. It was such an anticlimactic episode, and I'm like, okay, I kind of wish someone died. Cool. Yeah, but it was cool seeing, like, Daryl in the snow and, like, all them, like, figuring that out.
Yeah, and, like, how that works. And I like the part where...
Because we've never even seen a hint of that.
Actually, in the comics, back in, like, the second book, actually.
Because there's no time skip back then.
No. But, like, in the second book, their environment is very different. So, like, right when it starts out...
Just making sure it wasn't hot.
Right in the second book, or whatever, I think it's still set in Georgia, but there's a winter.
Yeah, you told me about this, and that's where they find out, like, that
and
they
find out
freeze
that they freeze, and, like, standing up and all that kind of stuff, and, like, they just, like...
But see, you got that instantly, though.
Right.
Like,
so, like, when Michonne and Daryl were, like, walking through, and they saw the two figures within the snow, and he just went...
You recognize it?
And it shattered or whatever, instantly knew. And, like, when they went to the hilltop or whatever, and there was, like, that just walker that was just, like, scarecrowed out in the middle of the thing, and it was just, like, I knew exactly
They did that
was.
so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that scene, like,
I
it
like
was
how
so
they had, like,
creepy.
icicles off of, like, its fingers. Yeah. Oh,
well, just
so good.
Just, I don't know, because we've never seen them in that light. The closest thing, and this may sound weird, the closest thing that we've gotten, I think, to that is, like, them being in, like, the prison going around those, like, dark corners. Because, like, you don't know what's happening. Right. But, like, with the storm, there's noise going on. There's, like, anything could happen. Because they've never had a storm this bad. And, like, for the viewer, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Because they're in the middle of a storm. You can't see shit. Like, that's a bad storm. They can't see 15 feet in front of them.
So, one thing that I'd like to add that about the season finale is that there was a scene where Rick... Eugene, Rosita, or not Rick.
I was about to be like, he's back.
Yeah. Negan, Rosita, Eugene, Sadiq, and a bunch of other people were held up in the church or whatever because it was the only place out of fireplace. And they lit it, and they were like, something smells fishy, kablooey, because something like erosion had...
Shout out to Eugene, man.
Yeah, I know, for noticing that. But something had, like, built up in the inside of the chimney, and it had caused a chemical reaction and just blew up. But when they had to leave and go to Aaron's house or whatever for the next fireplace, obviously Judith runs off to find the dog.
Negan.
And then Negan runs after her. And then that whole sequence with, like, Negan and, him saving Judith and all that kind of stuff. And one of my favorite parts...
How many?
Is when he calls her. Yeah, favorite. Is when he calls her Miss Grimes.
Yeah.
That's
Like that?
that's so good because she is Rick's prodigy. You know, like she's
Not
going to
really,
take over.
though.
She is going to take over next season. She's going to be a teenager.
Well, yeah, but like she's not Rick's. She's Shane's.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, it seems that way. That's what we've been told. Is that not
necessarily?
Is that what it says in the comics? It like doesn't come true that she's not like actually Shane's.
Shane and Judith doesn't matter in the comics because she's dead.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't really matter.
So this is your own theory.
Well, yeah, this is my theory. I think that she's Rick's.
She is a lot like Rick.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but at the same time, that kind of makes sense because that's her male role model.
Right, but also now it's Negan that is her male role model.
Which I think this is kind of interesting. This is kind of a little bit straying away from your point, but it still goes along with it. It's still about Negan. So Negan went out in the snow, risking his own life to save Judith, right? Mm-hmm. And you remember when he went out before, he like ventured out and then he came back and stuff like that, and
because there was nothing left for him.
Yeah, and Michonne called him out and like that because she's like, you want me to feel sorry for you or like give you this like trust you because you're a coward or something like
or
that.
Like that you came back or whatever.
Because he's like, I could have killed you guys. So and she's like, you're an asshole. You're not stupid or something like that. So that was like a selfless act of his. But this one was totally selfless. He went out there in the storm, and that moment he had with Michonne, I think we're gonna see what you want to see, which is them trusting him because.
And like
he risked his life to save Judith.
And this might still come true.
He's not gonna kill Michonne or anybody because Judith cares about them.
Right.
So
exactly.
like he's ideally fine.
They're like immune.
Yeah.
They have immunity. But in the comics,
it's like an allergy pill.
and I would really like to see this come true. Obviously, it's not gonna happen same to same. I mean, if it does, sorry, spoiler alert, but you're done already. But in the comics, Negan is trusted to the point where they let him go and do things for Alexandria, he's like one of their main scouts or whatever.
And you fucked me with this knowledge 9 times over because you read the comics and you tell me these things.
Yeah, but because I want to get it out, but it might not happen the same way.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think they will
because they usually don't overlap huge parts.
Yeah,
like that.
Huge parts like that. So what happens in the comics is Negan stumbles upon the Whisperers, obviously, which were introduced like in the beginning of this season 9. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I like the fucking cows, dude.
You ever try fucking a pig?
Can't say I have.
Can't say I haven't. Okay.
Oink oink. No, but anyways, so in the comics, Negan stumbles upon the Whisperers or whatever, and he befriends Alpha, and they become best friends.
Call me Alpha. I go the rest.
And he eventually gets to a point where he just takes her head clean off,
Which, if anyone's gonna kill Alpha, it's gotta be Negan. But I don't think they'll do that though.
I don't think they will either. But see, that's such a cool thing. And what he does is, he brings. Sorry.
Worried about you.
He takes Alpha's head or whatever, puts it in a bag, wraps her up, brings it to Rick, and just throws it on the table or whatever, and just like, okay, it's done. Like he just like a badass would, and just been like, all right, here you go, problem solved.
Is Alpha worse in the TV show than she is in the comics? Not yet. Not even close.
I mean, yeah, she did what she did in the comics and in the show.
Does she have the potential to be as bad as the one in the comics? Because for those of you that haven't read the comics, I've briefly skimmed through a couple pages. But the way Luke describes it is that basically the comics are like the TV show but on crack. Like it's way more fucked up.
It's way more fucked up. Like way more fucked up. No, I think she's a little puss compared to the one in the comics.
That's why I feel like you just can't even compare the two. Even though they're obviously the same story, somewhat, I just feel like you can't, because, like, I feel like there's so many, because it's like, well, I think you've even talked about this, in the writing and in, like, the graphic images, you can kind of take what you want out of it and, like, build your own story a little bit, because when you read a book, you're going to have a totally different experience than someone else. Obviously, It's going to be similar, but you can interpret it, because all there is just text. There's no pictures definitively showing you, like, nope, this is what happened.
Can I see that water?
Yeah, I already sipped out of it.
Okay.
You're gonna need AIDS.
Continue what you're saying.
But I feel like in the graphic novels and stuff like that, you can kind of play with it a little bit to be like, oh wow, it's way more fucked up than you can in the show, because the show it's definitive it's a definitive that they were decapitated. But in this one, maybe they, I don't know, take it a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't show you everything, so it leaves more to be.
To sponge up.
No, it's not. More to be desired. You know, like when a female wears a lot of clothes, so there's much to be desired. You know what I'm saying? But if she doesn't wear a whole lot of clothes, it's like, well, she doesn't leave much to be desired because it's all out there.
Moving on.
You call me Alpha.
No, but yeah, she definitely. Okay, so in the comics, she's a little more assertive over people than she is in this. She kills a lot more people. She goes around and she tells people who's boss. And Beta, that big ass dude, he is way more badass in the comics than he is in this. I can't even explain it. Like he's just way more badass.
Well, you probably don't want to spoil it too much for the graphic novel readers.
But it's just
readers.
Man, it is so good. Beta in the comics versus him in the TV show, he is picture perfect, you know. But like his personality and like the things that he does and like the things that he
this is live.
The same.
This is live TV. I feel like there's only so much that you can do.
Right.
And The Walking Dead has pushed that limit a lot. Like
yeah,
you know
without being like The Simpsons or like Family Guy, where you can say like literally whatever you want.
The Walking Dead has I think that's the most recent example of like, okay, you're pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's kind of the whole thing about The Walking Dead is like that's almost like their goal. Obviously, it's to make you feel uncomfortable. Like they do fucked up shit, like biting fingers off or like chopping up bodies and smearing it all over them. Like it's fucked up shit, but it makes you like.
I'm telling you, it's like
makes you uncomfortable.
What?
But it's dope as fuck.
Right. It's like an addictive kind of thing.
It's weird how humans like that.
Right.
Is it not? It's just a weird thing.
That's never mind. I'm not gonna get into that.
So I think one more thing on The Walking Dead before we're like
the season finale.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
the radio. Yeah. Okay. Good. We're on the same page.
Do you know what I'm talking? Do you know what it is?
I don't know who it is. It's either Maggie or it's the other girl.
Let me hear. What do you think?
That's what I said. That's literally all I know.
Who's the other girl?
Huh? Were there two girls?
What?
I have no idea what they said on the radio. Like I literally missed that.
There was just one girl.
Was it? I know, but was it Maggie or the girl that took Rick?
Neither.
Who was it?
So in the comics,
well, just tell us who's in the show.
She's not in the show yet.
Well, she is. Her voice is.
Okay. Well, her character.
Okay.
But in the comics,
in the scripture,
after the Whisperers, that Eugene messes around on that radio. He starts going on those channels or whatever, and then he finds this woman. Her name is like Stephanie or something like that. I forget what her name is. It starts with an S. I forget. Savannah or something like that. I honestly can't remember. But anyways, she and Eugene talk for like a really, really long time. For like 4 comics, like 4 consecutive comics. They just talk. And it's like they have like really interesting and in-depth conversations about.
Is she smart?
Yeah.
Eugene. Okay.
Well, and good. So yeah, because they get along.
Because then we can kill off Eugene and have a new character.
Honestly, well, actually no, because in the comic she's like gross, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Anyways, so, sorry. So anyways, they talk a lot about like Alexandria and their community or whatever, and then they talk about like this girl named Stephanie's community or whatever, and like all this kind of like whatever. And then obviously not too much is revealed, not too little is revealed.
Leaves something to be desired,
right,
is what
exactly.
you're saying.
But anyways, so they go on to do that and whatnot, and Eugene is like, all right, well, we're to the point where we can trust each other, I think. And she's like, yeah, I can agree. And they were like, so can we like meet each other or something like that? And she was like, yeah, I'll give you some coordinates to like meet us at. And
it's like Tinder.
So they meet or whatever in the comics, and they all get taken hostage or whatever. Not really hostage, but they just get taken. And these people are like suited up.
Wait,
like,
is it
military?
So like, she hasn't been mentioned in the show at all yet.
No,
not even close.
No.
What about that one girl who has that civilization? Whatever happened to that? Did I miss?
Well, we didn't. That's not confirmed that she has a civilization. That was my theory.
Well, the one girl who pulled up in the van and like Maggie was there and shit like that.
Yeah.
So we don't actually know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
I feel like she kind of has to.
Yeah, I don't know who she is. She might be
smack.
another community different from the one that we're talking about right now.
But what if that's the same person?
Because the people that she had there with her didn't look like they were like...
Right. Not as armed up as that person. But that
But
could
like
be the same.
they all have these red and white like riot suits, right? Like these military looking riot suits. And they walk around with, like all these souped up like AR-15s, they're like set up. They have like bayonets on the end of them so they can kill walkers and whatnot. And it's like, it's insane. And so they take Eugene, what's her name? Yukomo or something? Yukomino? You coming on?
What are you coming on?
The new Asian chick, lady, girl thing. You'd know her if you saw her. Anyways, she's got the slingshot. No, that's a deaf lady. She's got the bow.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. The lesbian?
Yeah.
You could have said lesbian, though.
Lesbian! Peek the mic. Lesbian!
No, okay, stop doing that. Do not peek the mic anymore, because it pisses me off when I'm editing. I have to go through and, like, bring those down.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Well, wait, real quick. God damn it. Do you know, okay, Gus Johnson, the YouTuber?
Yes.
Okay, well, I was watching one of those male unboxing videos, and this just made me think of it on the lesbian thing. He pulled out this hat that someone sent him, and he put it on, and he goes, this is great. And it's, like, pink all around, but it has, like, a white, like, whatever on, like, the front little panel, and it says Raging Lesbian.
That's
awesome. Get that out there.
Raging lesbian. Oh. Okay, so anyway, so
Slade.
it's like, so she's taking Michonne, Eugene,
The Asian.
Yukomo, Magna, couple other unmentionable.
Hero Brand.
Something like that. Stevie Wonder.
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali in the apocalypse just fucking.
But anyways, okay. So anyways,
What are you doing? Beating the shit out of walkers. Why? Just stab them. Fuck that. Proceed.
anyway, so they get taken to these people's, like, they're like questioning them. They're like, hey, what's up? Like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh, well, we're meeting like this chick named Stephanie or whatever. She's like, well, Stephanie's not allowed to be on the radio. I don't know what you're talking about. She told us to go to these coordinates. Be like, yeah, probably for a reason, because we're here. So they take him back to civilization or whatever. It's like this huge thing. It's got like 50,000 people in it. It's
So
like
basically, we're gonna be
huge.
introduced to a huge ass
Yeah,
civilization.
yeah, like this city, like this
Which is
town.
cool, but at the same time, I'm kind of like about that. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Because it's always like that. When we found Alexandria, and like it was the other chick who's like.
But like this is different.
I know, but like
You wanna
it's
know
always
why?
different, and then they always fall, and like it's always just repeating itself.
But
When we
see,
got to the
thing
prison,
is,
it eventually fell. The
I don't
farm
think it's
fell.
gonna. I don't think it's gonna fall. You don't know why?
Why?
Because Rick isn't.
To fuck it all up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everywhere Rick goes, he fucks it up. No, but sorry.
What is it?
Love you, Rick.
What is it? What's his name? The farmer.
Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel. Remember when he said he's like, you guys are like a plague everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. It's kind of true.
It's kind of true.
Way to go, Herschel.
Anyways,
Breaking the fourth wall, kind of.
yeah, actually, he did break the fourth wall like a lot.
Shout out to Herschel, dude.
Shout out to motherfucker. He's dead actually now.
The actual. Oh yeah, he is. Fuck, I forgot about that. The actor.
He died like not too long after that. After his episode where he like came back to Rick. In like that last.
I forgot about that because they posted about it. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Sad pod.
Much respect. For
Yo,
you.
Rip. What was his name? What was the actor's name?
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, look it up.
But anyways, so. No, I forgot what I was talking about.
You were talking about the new civilization.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna fall.
Okay.
And the reason why is because it is the. Hold on.
Well, we can move on.
No. I'll look it up later. It's whatever. But
Okay,
the
well,
reason,
just Rip Herschel's.
Rip
the actor who
Herschel,
played him.
actor.
R.I.P.
person.
man.
But anyways, I don't think the civilization is gonna fall, and the reason why is because it has a class system.
Okay, let's go.
Which
There's
is
a caste
very
system in India.
It's a class system, not a caste. No. this class system works upon the base job that you had when you were for the downfall of humanity. So in this case, Michonne.
So they're trying to rebuild civilization again.
Right, exactly. It's kind of a little fucked up. Like, you kind of get those vibes, like, when you first meet everybody, you're like, this is kind of, like, fucked up, but it's, like, kind of makes sense, you know? And one of the characters, I think it's actually Yukomo, brings that to attention. She's like, hey, this is kind of, like, fucked up, you guys. And then everybody's like, no, it's kind of not. And you're like, okay. So, like, there's kind of some of that concern, but, like, whatever. But in Michonne's case, she was a lawyer before she, obviously, the downfall of humanity. So they were like, so they interviewed them. They were like, well, so what did you do before the apocalypse?
Kind of like what they did at Alexander when they first brought him.
Right, like who are you? What did you do? Stuff like that. But only, like, and how they made Rick into a police officer, like a civil defense kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they would do.
If
Rick was still alive.
Me doing?
You?
Yeah.
Well, they said that the people that they don't have anything for, they just kick out.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
Or you become like a janitor or something like that, like something that's like basic.
I don't think I would. Would you go a part of a civilization in The Walking Dead?
Probably
like
not, actually, no.
I wouldn't, because like I feel like you'd just be fucked over. Like do you know how, I don't think people even think about that.
Like what?
Like I don't even think I've thought about that. Just the fact of like, obviously we have like a system now. Like the United States is not perfect by any means, but it's a goddamn beautiful country, okay?
And it works. It's better than every other country.
Yeah. I agree. America, I mean, it's literally the greatest country on earth. As far as my opinion goes, your opinion may differ, but that's okay. We can still be friends. But do you know how fucking hard it must have been to, like, get those first little fibers of, like, this quilt made of, like, the United States? You know what I'm saying?
And, like, that's why they wrote a document, because they're like, how else are we going to make people follow the rules? Like, how is that
And even now, people still break the rules.
Right, yeah.
But there's enough reinforcement of, like, a structure to keep everybody in line.
Right.
And I think I don't think we even appreciate how, like, fucking impressive that is.
Yeah, it's really impressive to have, like, I don't even know the population of, like, America. It's, like, probably over, like, 2 billion. But, like, still, like, the amount of...
I mean, there's 300 million people just in the United States.
Oh, well, I said 2 billion.
In the United States? There's 7 billion people on the planet.
No, 2 billion people live in the greatest country on earth. That's my guess.
300 million. Actually, I think India...
Never mind, I'm not going to look it up. I trust you.
Yeah, India is like the most populated country in the world with like India has 1 billion people.
What a loser.
Because India has just over 1 billion people.
Yeah, what losers, am I
Which
right?
is fucking insane.
Am I right?
That's why they have like, yeah, T-Series. Fuck you, T-Series.
No, but anyways, continue with what you're saying.
But
no.
I just think that's impressive. I just think that's...
Continue with... So anyway.
I just think that's impressive though, like... The fact that this is what I was going to say. So I'm 18 and you're 12?
Almost 8. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Almost 13.
He's almost 18 and I'm 18 right now. That's where we're at. So we just kind of got out of like that phase of being teenagers of being like, no, I do what I fucking want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We just kind of got out of that phase. And anyone who knows, like, I guess that's over that phase or just really aware that's in that phase now. Like, you know, right? You don't. You do, right? Somewhat. If you're somewhat American. You know what I'm saying.
Like, if you have common sense, you know.
Yeah. But even when you're in that state, like, I remember being 16 and stuff like that, you know, back in the day. And obviously, it was 2 years ago, but I mean, I've changed a lot since then. And being, like, where I always think that, like, everyone was against me. But in truth, they weren't. They were trying to help me. Now, in some cases, I was right and they were wrong. But for the most part, they were just trying to help me.
Most cases. Yeah. Goodness gracious.
They were trying to help me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, like, you don't see it because you're so much in your own ass. But imagine an entire, like... I don't know. Okay, so back then, I don't know, like, let's just say 50,000 people. Imagine, like, a group of people, like, I don't know, maybe 20 people, trying to collage all those people or, like, crowd them, herd them or whatever into, like, the civilization. But they all acted like that. Because before, like, all this shit, you know what I'm saying? There was no structure. It was just fucking chaos.
Well, the only thing
it was, if you come in my land, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Well...
Imagine having to... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can kind of see that. So like,
obviously, there were like kingdoms and stuff like that.
Well,
but...
the more so think of it this way. So you were a soldier in the Revolutionary War.
I was not.
But okay, this is theoretical, hypothetical.
I'm not a soldier.
Something tetical.
I'm a scientist.
But okay, so you were a soldier in the Revolutionary War.
Sure.
You were on the side of the rebels. Okay, the rebellion. The Americans, okay?
Star Wars.
Anyway, so you fight this battle. I've honestly, on the top of my head,
I'm talking about even before that.
Right? No, I know that.
Okay.
But like this is like the founding of our country. So like, you just finished the battle with like the British or whatever. You kill all of them, and then somebody comes out there and runs out, and we're like, okay, we won the war. Like that's it. Like we have our independence now. Like they don't give a fuck anymore. You know? And then you're like, hell yeah! Well, like I just fought for a fucking country that doesn't exist. Like, and it's going to exist because of me.
Yeah.
Your morale is like through the roof. All right, and you have all of these people that are just like, dude, we just won this war against like this military superpower at the time, and we're gonna create our own fucking country right now. Can you imagine having 50,000 of those people that, yeah, some of them want to break the law, some of them want to do something else, but most of them have that morale and that like mindset of just like, holy crap, we're starting like a new country right now. Let's get together and just like fucking make this.
I feel like at that point, like, the snowball's already rolling, like, pretty fast, though. Because
Hardcore.
everybody's like, okay, yep, we're doing this. You know, we're making a country.
Right, and it happened.
But I'm talking about when people were beating on rocks. Like, going from that to, like, Western times. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Western times, obviously there was some sort of civilization. You would be punished. There's public hangings and shit like that. I don't know my Western history. You know, I've seen a couple movies here and there. But, like, that's basically what it was. To a certain extent. But, like, if you were to break the law or, like, you were to kill someone, like, you would easily get away with it back then.
Especially in cowboy times.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? There were actual, like, what do they call those? Like, draws and shit like that. Like, those were an actual thing that happened. Yeah. Now, if you do that, you're not okay. But, like, imagine...
I mean, I wonder if cops would, like, let that happen.
I mean, they're going to kill each other. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to kill each other anyways.
But I just think that's interesting, and I don't think we give enough credit to the fact of, like, at some point, there was, I guess, one person or a group of people that were like, okay... Like, I wonder what that process is, because I can't even, like, process that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can't process... No, I think we could. I think we definitely could process something like that.
We could unbox it.
We should do that at some point.
Unbox
That's like,
it?
well, no, like, figure out, like, laws.
Like
do something like that. Like, creating something. Like a society and, like, a foundation.
Like, really dive into that? We could. Well, we have talked about this before. Us privately, but we want to do like podcast series like in between like the normal episodes of like where we unbox conspiracy theories, stuff like that. Obviously just for fun. We're not like crazy and shit like that. If you are and you're crazy about conspiracies, relax. We're not going to give our whole dick. You know what I'm saying? But like just unboxing that kind of stuff. But I just think that's fucking interesting on the fact that at one point there was just a bunch of fucking dumbass people running around beating on rocks and shit like that, and then slowly we've come together, and I'm not talking just about the United States. I'm talking about, like, well, except for South Korea. Or North Korea, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to be like, wait a minute, South Korea.
Korea's fine.
North Korea.
But no, North Korea. I mean, obviously.
North Korea, bro.
But they still have a system, though. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get nuked because of that.
Yeah, well.
No, they don't. They don't have a system.
I know, but it's somewhat structured.
No.
Yes, because it's one guy who's saying, fuck you to the rest of them. But it's still somewhat of a structure. Okay. I'm counting them out of this. Keep that in mind. They don't really count, but I'm saying there's somewhat. You know what I'm saying? There's somewhat.
I can see what you're talking about.
But I'm saying fuck them, okay? I hope their fucking continent sings. It's not a continent. It's just part of a continent.
All north of it just...
but everyone who's not, you know, the bad guys get out and they're okay. But for the most part...
Communism.
Like there's
get rid of it.
Every fucking place on earth, for the most part, is like, it has some sort of system. There's laws, there's, you know, rules put in place. There's people to enforce that.
Some of them don't work.
Some of them don't work, but like...
Can you think of an example?
North Korea?
Yeah, of course. One other one.
India?
Big one.
India?
No. Big one.
China?
It's a big one.
Russia. Okay.
What part of Russia?
Moscow. I have no idea.
It's not a part of Russia. It's just the thing that they made up that didn't work.
Ukraine? Oh, communism?
Yeah!
Oh, well, fuck. Okay. I'm just saying, like... Okay, I want to end this point.
Sorry,
like,
I
just
want you
think
to know
cool.
that communism never works.
Great.
Neither does socialism.
Great. Now we're all
Fuck you if you like socialism. I don't care who you are. Fuck you! That didn't peak it, that didn't peak it, that didn't peak it.
Damn near did.
Fuck you, though.
Okay. Well, now that we got that, I don't know. I just think that's something to think about. I just think that's cool that we've come this far.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty fucking insane.
And, like, to have cops around all the time.
I was, no, but I was thinking about this, the other day with my dad, because me and my dad kind of unbox like weird shit like that. I don't know, because he's like he likes the conspiracy type shit like that.
That's what you're talking about when you said unbox.
Yeah, like just you know, unpacking it and stuff like that. You know, figuring stuff out. thinking for yourself. We were talking about how, so someone, like, if I were just, how do I word this? What were one of our examples? Okay, so like me right now, my phone. I can search any fucking thing I want. Any question I have, any video I want to watch, for the most part, I can just search up and watch it instantly. Now, transport me back into my dad's, like, growing up when he was my age. There's no way. Now, I know some people may disagree, but I feel like there's no way that I can, like, really process, like, not having that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it's to the point where we've gotten too used to it. So, like, my dad, I had my phone plugged into the aux cord or whatever on my, like, stereo speaker in my room. And I was playing through all these, like, old 80s songs. I was just like, Dad, do you know this one or whatever? It was like, hey, do you know this one? Who sings it? And what's the title of the song? And we got to this one. Yeah, obviously everybody's heard about Motley Crue. But he goes, yeah, so I didn't have that kind of stuff back then, you know, to where I could just listen to any song. So I'd go to the pool house or whatever, or the pool table. He used to call it the pool table. And I'd go in there and I'd put a quarter in the jukebox and wait for it to play Motley Crue or something like that. And
but see, like, neither one of us, even though, like, you especially like the old type stuff, like, you really dig that kind of stuff. I said dig, is that kind of an old thing?
I guess.
But, like, neither one of us can really, like, put ourselves in that situation of, like, nope, no Google. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to listen to a song or whatever.
Because, like, right there, like, who's Herschel? Oh, I don't know. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
You know?
If I want to know something, I don't have to skim through a fucking phone book to call someone to find it, or call my teacher and, like, ask a question about math. I can just search it up on my phone.
Right.
Like, I could never, just like back then, my dad being 18, there's no fucking way, no way in hell that he would be able to process thinking in his mind of, like, oh, I could just search up my phone.
Right.
Phones were barely a fucking thing back then.
Yeah, they were, and if they were like...
Yeah, they were 6 fucking meters across. But no, I just think that's interesting.
Jesus
of, like,
Christ.
But I think my point on this is that, so I'm 18, you're 17. We've established that. My point on that is that I'm glad that I was born when I was, and I'm glad that I'm growing up, and I'm glad I think the way that I do.
Yeah, I don't.
Because, okay, yeah, you always want to be, like, born back then, but I feel like you really don't. I feel like you want to experience it, but at the same, I don't know, whatever. It's yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that was back then that was so cool.
Yeah, but I think it's even cooler now that we get to, like, have relics of it, like old cars, stuff like that, because it's so much more iconic now. Because back then it would just be the norm. You know what I'm saying?
But can you imagine? So, like, I was telling somebody extremely important the other day that, like, I used to wear a Walkman to school or whatever, and I'd wear it to school every day.
Yeah,
you know,
which was, like, that was fucking legendary, honestly. He would have this fucking yellow Walkman just clipped in there. What?
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it was cool.
I got made fun of for it, but you
But,
know,
like, it was
but, like,
fucking
yeah,
dumb.
like, but that was the norm. Can you imagine everybody going to school with, like, a Walkman?
But see,
or, like,
most people
seeing
today,
somebody
you cannot
with, like,
process that. You cannot think about that.
nobody, and like, exactly, and they were
Because
like,
for you, everybody was like, that's so fucking weird.
yeah, like, what is that?
Some people don't even know. I'm guarantee you, some of these people watching don't even know what a Walkman is. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Look it up.
God. That was a different time. No. But I'm saying that I'm kind of glad that we were born where we were.
I can concur. I'm glad
Just
that I was
because
born
we
there.
can understand. Like, okay, Rhett and Link were talking about this on one of their podcasts of, like, Link was like, he's like, my kids are never going to know what it's like to, like, the TV not working, you have to beat the side of it. Okay, well, I grew up in a house where we had an old TV like that, and you would beat the side of it. Obviously now, like, we have a flat screen, not that we're wealthy, but, like, tech and shit like that. So we don't have to do that anymore. If you beat the shit out of something today, it's going to break. You know what I'm saying? If I smack my laptop, it's just going to break even more.
Yeah, you can't fix something by slapping it.
Yeah, but, like, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? I can understand being in that situation of only having TV, because I didn't have a phone until I was, like, 13, which I know sounds like that's still pretty early, but still, like, I had a flip phone until I was, like,
well, yeah,
15,
I can understand
16,
that. I
something.
had my phone.
But see, we can kind of process, like, having tapes and stuff like that, you know, having, like, CDs, whereas people in, like, 50 years, like, our kids, no fucking way they're going to be able to understand a
They're
TV.
gonna be like, man, that's ancient. You know what I mean?
They're not going to understand. They're going to look at a CD or, like, an iPhone from today like we look at, a phone from back then. They're going to be like, why the fuck was it so big? Why wasn't it just uploaded directly to your brain, you fucking psycho? You know what I'm saying? I think it's so weird to think about. It's so interesting.
But at the same time, I was having this conversation with my stepdad. I was like, at this point, you're like, man, how can this get any better? You know what I mean? Like, how can this, like... How can
we've
having
got
like
colored TV.
How can I have like everything at the tip of my fingers?
That's
how can
such
I
a
get
good
better?
question.
How can this ever get better? But there's still a way. You know, people back then, they had that thing that was just this giant fucking box that you had to put batteries
like, how could
into,
this get any better?
and it was just this like little thing that had this like little film thing that went through it, and it was like, holy crap, I can hear music. How can this get any better?
Well, in like the first like broadcast, which was a presidential broadcast, I don't know if you knew that. So fun fact, I don't know who it was. It was probably like Nixon, maybe? I don't know. No. Definitely not. But it was something like that, and they broadcast it all over New York, and it was like the first broadcast on TV. It's like, oh my god, this is like revolutionary. And then once TV started to pick up, you got like silent films, you got like actual movies and shit like that, and you know, cinema started to pop up. It's like, how could this get
like
any
the
better?
1920s, so maybe like FDR. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Who fucking cares? But no, like, how could it get any better than having, you know, a phone that you know you can.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's insane.
Or having a Walkman, having like, portable music. Yeah. But now it's like. Those things are fucking chump change.
This is music and
this
everything
is literally
else.
This technology. I don't know if everybody knows this, but this technology sends us to the moon and back.
Yeah,
that's fucking insane. But like, how could this get any better? But the problem is, well, not the problem. The cool thing is that it will get better.
Yeah,
I can't even begin to process how.
That's like weird. That's like weird to think about. Like how? Like,
well,
how?
Think of the evolution of cars. How could this get any better and stuff like that? It's got AC. It's got radio. You know, I can fucking have a cig, whatever the fuck that little push pop thing is that gets hot. How could this get any better? Okay, now we have self-driving cars. But how is that going to get better? I don't fucking know. Like, we can't even process it, just like they couldn't process having everything in the world at your fingertips. Which I think it's kind of a bad, I mean, obviously it's a bad thing. But it's also a good thing.
What do you mean it's a bad thing?
Well, I feel like it's a bad thing that I can search up whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But at the same time, it's a good thing because I'm more knowledgeable.
Like it sparks your curiosity.
Yeah, because like I can watch a 10-minute Vsauce video and learn more than someone who sat in a class like, all the way back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, and things like that, like
it's just fucking insane.
I like to read about war and like things that happened like way back.
War.
Like fascism, the Bolsheviks, the Russian Revolution, World War II, World War One. You know, the types of guns, the types of planes, the types of tanks, like everything that happened over there. Not necessarily like the culture, but you know what I mean, like the things that made up those kinds of things. And like whenever I like, oh, what the hell is a P-36, or like what the hell is like a Panzer IV?
Just look it up.
It was like the Mark IV of like the Panzer that was released in Germany during World War II, and it was made, and it was probably one of the best fucking tanks that they ever had.
Well, like back then. If it was like 9 o'clock at night and you wanted to know that.
I take that back. The Panzer III was, but you know what I mean. You know, it's just, it's like interesting to know, and the curiosity that I have, boom, I have the answer.
Like
right
I
here.
could not imagine being.
But like, as like a teenager in like the 80s or like in the.
You can't process that.
Yeah, you can't like.
Because like it's 9 o'clock at night and you want to know what a fucking whatever kind of gun you want to
know.
know.
Like somebody says the word Bolshevik, you're like, what the hell is fucking Bolshevik?
Let's say it's 9 o'clock at night and you want to know the answer to a question that it just sparked your curiosity.
Well, library's closed. Too bad.
You either ask your parents, and if they don't know, you got to wait till the next morning to go to the library and hopefully skim through thousands of pages to figure out the answer.
Find out what the answer
I cannot process that feeling, but I kind of can because. You know, back in like middle school and stuff like that, that's how you did it. You would go to the library in the school, and that's how you figured it out.
Because we didn't have this technology.
No one had phones. Not then. Not in middle school. So I'm so glad that we kind of get that glimpse. Because when Rhett and Link talk about like the 80s and stuff like that and growing up and shit like that, I can somewhat feel, you know, what they're saying. And I'm so glad that I was born when I was.
Me and you were born in like the era of like greatness.
I think so.
Well, because we grew up with like this kind of like developing kind of weird awkward stage of like, hey, maybe this could work. Oh, maybe this could work. Wow, let's put this out for sale because it works really well and people will like that.
Someone even 2 or 3 years that was born after us. So like someone that was born in, I don't know, 2004. Like they kind of missed that because they're not going to have a flip phone. No way.
Exactly. They already have a phone. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it's
fucking crazy.
I can completely
just
agree.
Over the past like from 2000 to 2010, just like how far we've come with tech.
That's insane.
It really is, and
that's only 9 years, dude.
What?
9 years ago was 2010.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Dude, it's gonna be 10 years ago.
Isn't that weird?
That is insane.
It doesn't seem. I feel like being 10 years old. I feel like it was just like yesterday that I was. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking.
It feels so close because I was 9 then.
You know what the funny part is? We haven't been alive for shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Out of everything that's happened, we're like fucking young.
But isn't that? I feel like You know, I feel like teenagers and shit like that are getting so much more shittier because they feel like they have all this life experience. Because me, as of 18, I'm not saying this is 100% factual, but technically I know more than my dad obviously he has similar intelligence to me, but like I have more knowledge right now than he did when he was 18. Because anything I want to know the answer to, I can immediately look up.
I can tell my dad anything about World War II, and he'll be like, "Wow, I didn't know that."
But I'm saying, like, you, 17 years old, compared to your dad at this exact time,
oh, yeah.
you know more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know more.
Oh,
and not just because of our
100%.
technology necessarily, not because like you know what a blue
and
mic
definitely,
is.
and definitely
you know
not in different aspects. So like he might have been better at math than I am,
Mm-hmm.
but like I still know more about like history than he ever will.
Well,
at 17.
Yeah,
at 17.
But like comparatively, my point to that is like, you know how we got the Daniel Broccoli's and shit like that, who are all like these shitty ass kids who are like, oh no, I know everything.
They're younger than us.
Yeah. But they're always like, I know everything and shit like that. It's like just because they have their phone at their fingertips because they can look up anything. I feel like there was less arrogance back then. This could be totally wrong, but that's just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because like me, I could look up a couple Vsauce videos and I immediately think I am the fucking wisest fucker on the planet.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, you really had to hit the books to figure the shit out. But I think that's probably enough on that mess.
We got into that.
Yeah, but that's so interesting. I think we should dive into like entire episodes of just like, well, obviously I want to do like conspiracy type shit eventually. Something else to kind of think about. Something to think about. This is kind of where are we at?
An hour and 4.
No, we're at 52 minutes. This is cool. So I'm sure everybody knows. Well, this episode isn't necessarily sponsored by them, but Imagine Dragons. They were sponsored the channel, but obviously they're not right now. For those of you that don't know, we normally have a poster in the background.
Watch our other videos. What are you doing at 11?
Fucker. Yeah, this is episode 11. Holy shit. We've been doing this for what, a couple months now? Mm-hmm. Solid. Mm-hmm. Well, I have because you weren't here for one. So, where are you going? But no, this is cool. So Imagine Dragons. Everybody knows Radioactive at this point. Mm-hmm. You know, the song fucking took the world by storm.
Yeah.
Okay. Accurate. That was basically, I feel like I was, listening to it from my phone. That was so accurate.
Wow!
Okay, well, so obviously that song's different, right? That's why it blew up, because it's a different song. It's got a different vibe to it. It's arguably a little weird, right? So when they took that to the record company, I'm paraphrasing here. When they took that to the record company, the Imagine Dragons, they told them that this song will never play on the radio. It's too out there. It won't play on the radio. They're like, this will not chart. The guy, he's like, they're gonna publish it, obviously, but he's like, this song will not run, it will not publish, it will not chart. And they told him that because it's too bizarre. But obviously the song fucking took the world by storm. Like, it broke records. You know what I'm saying? It still has records under its belt.
Now, let me tell you a story
Wait, this is interesting, though.
about a guy who liked dick in his butt.
Freddie Mercury.
You know? That's the same story about you. That's the same story about fucking
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. But that song's weird. It's objectively weird.
Because it combined rock and not acapella.
But it's a fucking masterpiece.
What is it fucking called? What do you call it? Opera.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fucking masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It literally is. Just like Radioactive is in its own way, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard to compare a lot of things to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Though. But then again,
But like it's in its own way.
yeah,
You know what
you
I mean?
can't compare the two. That's the whole thing. Because they're too weirdly apart.
That Radioactive, it was the Bohemian Rhapsody of its time.
So far.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
yeah.
that was top charting like exactly how Bohemian Rhapsody was.
Yeah.
So of its time, yeah.
My point to all this is that, so there's always the thing of like, people being weird or like people wanting to be weird, like, oh, I'm different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's that whole vibe. And like now it's becoming cool to like be different, because like, oh, I wear Supreme stuff. Well, number one, if you're wearing Supreme and think that you're different, you're not, because everybody fucking has Supreme. It's actually more different to be
Normal.
against. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Because me and you are like
We
normal.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. But my point to that is that something weird, like Radioactive, because to them, the guys who were publishing it, obviously, they thought it was so weird, like, this won't chart. It's too weird. It's too out there. But because it charted, that means that the line between it being too weird for people to like and too weird for people to not like is very blurred. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like, well, then what do people like? And then it's like, well, what
'Cause,
people
like,
don't like.
For something to blow up, it has to be weird, but it can't be too weird. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was so interesting, and the fact that you have to be weird to blow up and like affect so many people, but it can't be too weird. It has to be weird enough to like make you go, oh shit, what the fuck is this? But not too weird to where it scares you off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not like an extreme case, but you know what I'm saying? I think that's where I think viral videos come in. It has to be weird enough to intrigue you and make you go, what the fuck is this? But not like where it's too weird to like, I don't like that.
Right, like saying like, oh, this kid fell off of like a 12-story building. You know, the kid jumps off this 12-story building and hits like this fucking airbag or whatever, and it's A-okay.
My point is...
He gets tens of millions, thousands of views.
But here's something interesting. So does this mean that... But I feel like progressively things are going to get weirder. But obviously it's just going to be a normal to us because we're slowly getting exposed to it. So does this mean that Radioactive and songs that are blowing up now, are they weirder than Bohemian Rhapsody was? Like, are we slowly getting weirder, but obviously we don't notice it because the weirdness is changing slowly. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be too weird, because then people won't like it. But it has to be somewhat weird so that they will like it.
That's a good question.
So, like, are things just progressively getting weirder, but we're just slowly adapting to them? Dude, I've been fucking losing sleep over this. It's so weird to me. But isn't that insane?
Yeah, because Bohemian Rhapsody was taking two of the most popular song genres
of the time,
which was rock and roll and why can't I fucking think of the name?
Opera?
Yeah, opera.
Mm-hmm.
The, opera was, very popular with older people and older folks because that's what they had listened to or whatever in their time. And during the 70s, rock and roll was taking the hits, man, for the populars, It was like, oh, man, Rolling Stones. Oh, man, can't think of any other band names,
Zeppelin?
but whatever. Yeah, probably Led Zeppelin. Like stuff like that. I don't know. Van Halen, whatever. 70s, rock and roll. But anyway, so you got rock and roll, and then you got like a cappella, and you got like the
opera.
Opera.
Jesus. But so things are just progressively getting weirder, but we just are slowly being adapted to them.
I can say
food for thought. If Radioactive came out,
what you give me?
Food for thought.
What
That's what I'm
you
gonna give you. I'm gonna give you it. Okay, ready? Open wide. No, but so does this mean that if Radioactive came out back then, it wouldn't have hit, right? It would have just. Okay, hear me out though. Hear me out just for a second. So if Radioactive came back out whenever the fuck Bohemian Rhapsody came out, it wouldn't have been a hit because it was too weird. It's too weird for that time. But if Bohemian Rhapsody had never come out and Radioactive came out today, maybe it never would have hit. You know what I'm saying? Because we hadn't broken that one border of weirdness. You know what I'm saying? So isn't that kind of weird?
I mean, in my opinion, I think that they're kind of both the same. Like they're both equally kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. I know, but arguably Radioactive has to be a little bit weirder for it to break more records, right?
It didn't break more records. It broke almost
but different
same,
records.
Maybe.
Well, it broke records, therefore it has to break different records, right? Because it couldn't break records.
It was a different genre.
Yeah, true.
And there were different records for different times.
True. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And that's why I think that
something to think about.
That fine line of weird but not weird enough, or not weird but too weird. Mm-hmm. That's like. So I think it stayed the same. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it stayed the same. I think people are thinking of new ways to become weird.
Well, I do know that minimalism is becoming more popular in songs. Like the whole Billie Eilish thing. Like objectively, it's weird shit, but it's fucking good because it's so different. But it's not too different to where it scares you off. Right. It's almost, I think she gets the closest. Because some of her songs, I don't like at first, but then I keep listening to them and I'm like, okay, I fuck with this. Mm-hmm. She's fucking that up. Like, I don't think you should overbear her with credit. You know what I'm saying? But I think she does deserve a little bit of credit. Obviously.
Yeah.
I think she deserves what she's getting, but I don't think we should push it.
She's like one of those creators, like Imagine Dragons was that. Queen was that. Now it's Billie Eilish. It's like there's more
I think she will break records. I do.
Yeah, she already has. So.
Yeah, I think I guess she has. Fuck, sorry.
So people are becoming more and more creative. I don't think we can say that that's weird. I think at this point.
I know, but that's the best way that we can describe it right now.
Right now. But I think at this point, it's going to start to become, that person's more creative than I am.
Because the age of creators is us.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Okay, well, we're part of Gen Z. So is my sister.
Well, yeah.
But Gen Z has been named. It will be the most innovative group of people, and I know that from experience because I was in an innovation class, and everyone of the people that I've been surrounded with that are my friends or whatever, they got into innovations class, and they're all like, some of them are starting fucking businesses now, because for some reason, the way that we've grown up, our minds or whatever the fuck Gen Z is innovative. I think that's why I push so much for YouTube. I think that's why you have a little bit of hard on for YouTube and being your own boss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's just interesting. I feel like the dawn of creators is like it's now. Like people are getting more creative because it's becoming cool to be weird.
Well,
Maybe?
yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. I can't even think about it. Something to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely it's out there.
It's weird, but it's not.
Something different.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. Butter beans, butter. But no, it's just I don't know. It's weird. It's weird as fuck.
Yeah, that is weird to think about. But like I don't know, because I have a different point of view.
Well, I know that because he's always talking about that. You want to grow up in the 80s?
Well, yeah, I have a different point of view as of not being the kind of person that I want to be. I take it back. I want to be my own person. Obviously, I am my own person because I'm not like some, fucking douchebag from like my grade or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm different. But I'm not like to the point where it's like...
But you're not trying to be different.
Right,
You're just objectively different.
But and what I'm hold on, back up a couple steps. This is what I'm trying to say, right? I'm making it way more complicated than it used to be. So you said
That's this entire podcast.
Gen Z.
We talk about nothing for an hour.
But you're like talking about like Gen Z wants to be like more innovative and all that kind of stuff. Well,
by the way, that's not just me blowing that out of my ass. Like this has been factually
right? No,
proven.
yeah, it's been factually proven, no doubt.
By
like,
people that are smarter than us. We call them scientists.
The scientist.
I met a man there, a scientist.
No, but
Sorry.
But like for me, I want to like work somewhere instead of like being like my own boss.
Do you want to have a boss?
Yeah.
So wait, is that something that you like desire?
I don't desire having a boss, but I desire having like a traditional job.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because I just have that mindset.
That's so weird because I don't think that way at all.
Really?
The thought of me like working under someone, it's not even like an alpha thing because I'm not like a super dominant person. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not huge on confrontation, stuff like that. For me,
like how I always thought of it was you wake up in the morning, you grab your cup of coffee.
You want the traditional 9 to 5. That's so weird because that scares the shit out of me. I don't want that at all.
That's what I want. That's all I want. I want a stable job from when I'm fucking 30 years old until the day I die. I retire. That's what I want. That'd be a dream come true.
I never knew you think about that like that because that's not how I think at all. Not even close. So wait, are you thinking like... Now, I'm exaggerating this a little bit, so bear with me. But you're thinking like, you got your wife, your kids, and stuff like that. Nice white picket fence or whatever. The American flag flying high in the front yard.
The nuclear family is what you're saying.
Yeah, like the American dream. You want that kind of...
Yeah, it's also known as a nuclear family.
I want to call it American dream.
Because in the 1950s, they...
But yeah,
obviously.
But you want that.
Yeah.
9 to 5, you come home, you kiss your wife or whatever, you guys are she's making dinner for you, something like that. Maybe not like that sort of system of like that. And I something like that.
I believe in teaching the kids the same way that I was taught, discipline matters and it's a thing.
See, my thing is I don't even want kids. Now I know I'm 18 and stuff like that, but I'm aware enough to know like as of right now, kids, hell no. Fuck no. I don't want them at all.
I want kids. And the reason why, I want somebody to carry on my name. I'm the last person.
That's what my friend told me.
I am the last Medlin. I'm the last man in my family. I have to carry on.
Well, same. Well, I'm not a Medlin. I'm the last Deckard.
Yeah.
Because Ashley, her name will change when she gets married.
That's sad. You're going to be the last Deckard.
The last Deckard.
Unless you change your mind.
Last Deck. But I don't know. It's just the thought of kids.
Unless you change your mind.
The thought of kids, I don't want them. I don't want a 9 to 5.
You don't have to not have a 9 to 5 to not have
I know.
Kids. I want you to have kids. I want to be like an uncle to your kids. Oh, can you imagine how cool that would be? Let's go see Uncle Luke.
I don't know, but like that's just weird to me that you think that way because I've never
that's
ever
all
thought.
I want.
I have thought that way, and that was like pushed on me of like that's how you do it. You go to you get out of high school, you go to college. You know what I'm saying? You go to nice university and stuff like that. You graduate. You get you work a job. Eventually, you get a house, find a woman, procreate. And then that's your life. But like for me, that's not at all what I want to do. Me, this sounds fucked up, but me, I've always felt like I've had it too good. Now I'm not bragging or anything like that. I'm not like a upper class person by any means. I'm middle to lower class, right?
I'm pretty sure at one point we've all thought that we have it way too good.
Yeah, but like me, I've always thought that I wake up in a comfortable bed. Like my bed's comfortable, my house is air conditioned. We are not wealthy in the slightest, right? But I have technology and stuff like that. I have a microphone. Some people don't have Premiere to edit videos and make videos, and they want to be a YouTuber way more than I could ever even imagine. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? People like want the things that I have.
Right.
Not necessarily, but indirectly. And I have them, and I have like all this privilege and stuff like that, and I've always felt the need to suffer. I've always felt like I've always had like a desire to suffer, and that's why when I don't work out, I work out pretty much daily for the most part. But like there are some nights where it's like raining and thunderstorming out, and I'll just go out for like this horrible run, and I'll come back and I'm just like coughing and stuff like that, and it fucks me up. But like I feel like I need it. Now I'm not gonna cut my wrist. I usually do it in a positive way. But like for me, I don't want to go to college. I would prefer to struggle and maybe make it as a YouTuber or make it as a podcaster or make it in music or in art or whatever the fuck. I would prefer to struggle and then fail and be nothing than I would to go and live a mediocre life. Like I want to struggle. I do. I don't know what the fuck it is,
the thing
but
for me is I know that there's going to be struggle no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me. And like I know that no matter how bad
for
I
anything
want,
there's going to be so much struggle.
well, right. And I know for how no matter no matter how much I want something, I'm gonna have to work for it at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like for me, I'm gonna have to work to get a job.
Like I would never have something
that's my
handed
suffering.
to
That's
me.
my suffering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at some point, I'm gonna need to get a raise. I need to work harder. That's my suffering. At some point, I'm gonna need to find a wife. Finding love. That's my suffering. You know. At some point, I need to get enough money to buy a house.
But see, for me,
or something
that's
like
not
that,
enough
or like a
suffering
car.
for me.
That's suffering for me, and the reason why is because that's like, I don't want to necessarily say like the norm, but it's like,
You want the normal like struggles. You're expecting them.
right.
You
I mean,
invite
like
them.
that's what I expect, and definitely life throws you some curveballs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
your house just got struck by lightning. All your appliances are gone. You need to buy a new fridge, microwave, stove. Like all that kind of stuff. That's something I can think of like, oh my god. Struggle.
We talked about this on another podcast because we were talking about how like talking about like traffic or whatever. Like that's like the height or whatever. Like that's like I forget what it was, but like that's like the normal struggle. Whereas like back in the primitive times, it would be like, okay, but now we gotta like fucking get food. Whereas now it's like, traffic was terrible, and that's like your little bit of like
struggle.
Yeah.
And like I do agree that it's definitely gone down.
But you kind of
by a significant
But
amount.
you're expecting and wanting the struggle of like, okay, which refrigerator are we gonna buy?
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Dog pissed on the carpet. Now we gotta change that. You want that
Right, exactly. Like I don't feel the need for like
extra struggle.
extra struggle.
Me, I've always
Because I
had.
know that life already has struggles.
I don't know why I do. I just feel like I need to find something, and I feel like this is like getting into like spiritual shit. It's not. I don't know. I just need to suffer. When me and Adrian went on that camping trip, it's on my channel. There's like 4 episodes of it. The last one is totally canceled because I didn't have enough footage, but that's a entirely different story. But we went camping, and Adrian, he's not the most like outdoorsy person. He is, but he isn't. He's outdoorsy in the sense of like sports and like that, but as far as like roughing it, I don't think it's for him. He's not a pussy by any means, but like that's just not his bag. But for me, it is. And so we were about 2 miles roughly from my aunt and uncle and like all the other like I guess civilization over here, and we were on a different side of the lot, about 2 miles away from them, camping out. And he would always be like, "Let's go back to them. Like, let's get food." And I'm like, "No, we've got like little bits of food here." I'm like, "Let's just do that." And he's like, "But it's like it's like whatever here." And he always wanted to go back and like hang out with them and just be around people. But for me, I was always like, no, let's stay out here, like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. It's hot. It fucking sucks out here. But like I just wanted it.
Like I know, and
It's weird. I don't know.
I don't want you to think that like that kind of stuff bothers me,
What do you
like
mean?
being out like that, or like being in a situation where you're like.
I don't think it doesn't make me uncomfortable because like you're getting stung by mosquitoes. You're constantly having ticks on you. You're
Well,
worried.
no, of course I know that.
Yeah.
And but like to me.
It bothers
like,
me, but I want it.
No, I can completely agree with that.
Okay.
Like, I mean, yeah, like as a normal person, I'd like to have like the daily struggles and all that kind of stuff, but like also, like I would, sort of, kind of, not really. I don't know how to phrase this. Like that sounds fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see that. Like I see like being out there and like not going back to civilization. That sounds like fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like I guess I saw as a certain part of me, I do crave that as well.
Yeah, that struggle.
Yeah.
It feels good,
Like,
especially
yeah,
once you get back to your warm bed. You feel like you've earned it.
I know why it feels good.
Yeah.
It's because it's adrenaline.
Well, yeah, and you fuck yourself over for however many days when you're out there in the wilderness or whatever. But like that's why I want to hike the
Yeah,
Appalachian Trail at some point.
I can agree that.
I want to suffer. I don't know
what's funny?
fucking why.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
We've considered doing that.
What, Appalachian Trail? You want to do it together? It'd be a hell of a vlog. But there's that, and go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say something, but
No.
oh no.
Well, I thought this way, like, to an extreme of, like, once I'm out of high school, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get a backpack and I'm just gonna fucking drive.
All
and I'm
right,
gonna
see you later.
go over the but no. This was like before I saw a certain movie, which is kind of weird. But
What movie?
I'll get that. But like for the longest time, I'm like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna just disappear. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be around. And we obviously went through a little struggle bus or whatever because I did not want to be around anyone. I hated everyone for some fucking reason. I wanted to be alone. I felt like I needed to be alone. I don't know what the fuck it was. I'm probably teen stuff, but like it was to an extreme where I was like genuinely fucking hurting people because I like did not want to be around anybody. And oddly enough, we saw the shittiest movie, Into the Wild, where he disappears and then he dies in the woods.
Oh my god.
Dude, that gave me a recollection because that's exactly what I was gonna fucking do. I was gonna fucking disappear, just like he did in the movie. And I'm like, oh my god. Like I got chills when we were watching that movie because I'm like, and that brought me back down a peg of like, no, I'm a social creature. I'm a human. I need people eventually and stuff like that. But I can still get those little bits of suffering.
It's funny because I think that's the stupidest fucking movie.
Me too. I
ever.
fucking hate the movie. It's fucking dumb as shit.
Stupid.
But it affected me.
But yeah, that's true. I can see that happening.
Moments of it were like, fuck.
The kid was super dumb, dude. Oh my god.
But he wasn't though. He was a genuinely well-educated person. But there was something in his brain of like, I need to disappear.
No, I don't agree with I agree with the fact of disappearing. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I can see that mindset of just, I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to get.
But he took it to an extreme.
But he's dumb stupid when
but
he
if
goes
that
out
movie
all
had
the way
not
up to
been
the
made,
Arctic, dude.
If that movie had not been made and I had not sat through that class and seen that, I don't know if I would be sitting here with you right now. I think I would be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Scary, dude.
Like that's so insane to me. That one pivotal moment. Like what if I hadn't shown up to class that day?
And didn't see that movie?
I could be fucking dead right now. Who knows? Like I genuinely wanted to fucking disappear.
That is scary.
I did not want to be here. And like that movie, whatever.
Holy crap, we're at an hour and 13 minutes. This is going to be a long episode.
We're going to have to wrap this one up. Oh, I mean, whatever.
We have a lot to talk about. What can you say?
I've got some other stuff, but we can save it for another time because we're kind of running on here. But I think that was a good pod.
I agree. I love this conversation.
Yeah, we're going to have to pick it back up. We need to get some conspiracy type shit going on. But yeah, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for joining us on episode 11 of of Thought Cluster.
Appreciate
THOT Cluster. Oh, by the way, little side story. Fuck, what did you say? Oh yeah, you're the one who said like you want kids eventually. Well, I talked to Miles. Okay, so Miles Atkins, great guy. If you guys don't know him, I'm sure you do. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? But he's a great guy. I've known him since like 2nd and 3rd grade. Like I've known him for fucking ever. Longer than I've known you. But when I told him like, no, I never want kids. Like whatever, you should never fucking, He was like, I have to have kids. He's like, I want to carry on my name. He's like, I'm the only one who can carry on that name, which he can't because he has brothers, but it doesn't matter. But he wants to carry on his family name, right? Which is, that makes sense to me, but it's totally unrelated, but kind of. So Miles Atkins, I was actually starting this podcast with Miles Atkins.
Yeah, I know, you told me that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't told them, but we came up with the name of Clusterfuck, and that was going to be the name of the podcast. It was going to be Clusterfuck, and it was going to be me and Miles, and we were going to do that, but he had soccer practice, so he couldn't do it, and I'm like, you know what, let me start the podcast, and you can join in whatever and stuff, and I'm like, we'll just pick it up from there, and it was just going to be audio, obviously, because I didn't know how the fuck to do any of this. I still don't know how to fucking do this, but it was going to be Clusterfuck, and we were going to do it, but I ended up changing it to Thought Cluster, because I forget why. I think my mom was like, maybe you shouldn't have it like as fuck, you know what I'm saying? She's like, I feel like that would deplete you, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to make it as marketable as possible. So I changed the Thought Cluster, and then I had those 3 episodes, and then obviously I got fucked over by SoundCloud a little bit because I couldn't upload anymore. And then we're here, so I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I haven't really talked to Miles since. That's a lie.
Are you glad that you started it with somebody else?
What do you mean?
Like, are you glad that you did it with somebody else instead of him, or would you rather have done it with him still?
I don't know if you can really say that, though.
Well, like, okay, say it was him sitting in my seat.
Well, I would have never known if it was going to be you or not. To be honest with you, I wasn't going to do it with you. I had no plan to do it with you. Not one. I never thought that I was going to do Thought Cluster with you. Because
Why?
You didn't fuck with YouTube.
Yeah,
you never have. Well, you have. You did for like a little bit, and you tried to get me involved, and I wanted to be a YouTuber, but I was too like shy to be on camera and shit like that. But now, the tables have turned.
Yeah. Isn't that funny how the tables have turned?
It's completely. Yeah. But
now it's going to be the tables have turned twice, because now I'm going to get into YouTube soon.
Well, then we're both. Table's going to turn a little bit because we're still both in YouTube.
Okay, we're sitting on at each side of the table.
We're making it. Okay. But no, I think. I mean, I'm glad that I'm doing it with you, but at the same time, I was just going to start Thought Cluster up by itself because obviously I have the means to now. So I was just going to be like, okay, let's just do it. And then we were hanging out, and I'm like, why don't we just do the podcast together? And then now we're here. But I think that's kind of funny that it was going to be clusterfuck and was going to be with someone else.
Yeah, that is pretty insane. You think you would have had the same conversations? Or like in depth?
Definitely not. Miles is a totally different person.
You think they would have been like more in depth? Or like
they would have been more. I think, grown up. I think like we're a little bit more like dorky and stuff like that. Whereas Miles, he's a mature person. Like he's very like.
So Lan, okay.
Yeah,
so what you got to do?
That's what he would do. But we're gonna wrap this episode up.
Episode 11, dude. Yeah.
We're
hell yeah.
Creaming on wheat, dude. You peaked the mic.